Righto, Ronnie, under twos action, semi-final time, and we are given prime broadcasting position up in our old haunt from the now de facto Huskies days. It's a different look compared to what we've been used to all season, but it's good to be back in the comfort zone.
Oh, absolutely. It's nice to be back up here in the commentary box, JB, and calling the action as we are at semi-final week for the 22s competition.
Yeah, semi-final week. It's Hobart the Kings. Back on a replay last week. You were reffing this game last week. That's a nice drive there by Hobart. Round the world goes in. And, you were out in the court a bit, Ronnie, so you can probably give a bit more perspective. What did you make of both sides? Bit of a dead rubber match last week as the Wolves managed to get over the top, but what do you see in both sides that's going to prove valuable tonight?
Well, obviously, at the moment, Phoenix don't have Shana Thompson. She's out for tonight, so that's a big blow for her. So I expect the likes of Vinan and Vanderkamp to really step up in her absence. But Kingston are going a deep bench down there, I can see too, JB. So obviously, look, the return of Taya Stevenson was a nice kind of luxury from Coach Mark Nash last week. And she proved vital, along with Maddie Strasmer, who had a good game, on the boards. Could have been had a bit more effort on the offensive end. But, expect this Kingston team to really, take it to them, and it should be a close one. Finals always brings out something different of both teams.
10 seconds left on the shot clock here as Hobart go inside. Good double team on the low post there. Got to stretch it out. Vanderkamp gets rid of it, doesn't go through. And what sort of difference do you think these rims are going to make, Ronnie? They haven't actually played on these hoops all year here in the under-22s competition. In fact, they didn't even play on them as senior as well. A different court, a bit of depth. There's Shana Thompson on the bench. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
What sort of difference does that play? Depth perception, the way the floor runs, there's a foul committed there. What sort of work are they going to have to put in, as a team to adjust to the floor?
I think,
if any adjustment at all, that is.
I think for the majority of these ladies that, they there's Shana Thompson will come in, but
heavily tanned too, Shana. She's been hitting the sun, I'd say, Ron.
Has been a warm weather week here in Hobart, JB, that is for sure. But quickly back to your point, each venue brings a different scenario. So, I don't think it's going to play too much havoc because most of the players should know these rims quite well. So it shouldn't be too bad. Just playing on a big arena, bigger space, that might be the only difference.
So as we mentioned, Thompson in. She did re-injure that shoulder. Speaking to a post-game last week, good cut there by Vanderkamp. She's going to get it the second time. Should have passed out. Doesn't. High-hooking shot. And that one's got the lucky bounce. Good finish there by Vanderkamp.
And again, we talk about these friendly rims here at the...
Very friendly.
As we talked about in our NBL 1 coverage throughout the year, JB, some players can get that lucky kind of use of a friendly roll type thing, and on that occasion, Vanderkamp got the better of that one.
More than bent out of shape too with the wham, bam, jam, thank you, ma'ams from the likes. Is that music I can hear?
Yes, there's a Taekwondo class happening up in the Gods section of the Sports Centre, JB.
So we're up another level and we've got music pumping everywhere. So
yes.
A bit more atmosphere, a bit more finals atmosphere, in fact.
Oh, absolutely, JB.
Which is good to see. Stratsman with the rebound there, looking for Rhodes, can't get it, taken away, fighting for the boards there, she gets it back again, got to get over very soon. We're not getting a count on that one though, nonetheless, but... No, it's been an interesting season. Hobart pretty much have ran with Thompson all but one game this year. Our senior intern Vanderkamp out there.
Yeah, so I forgot he's had home too, by the way, if he listens back on this broadcast.
Yeah, well. He left that behind last week, didn't he?
Yeah, it's at my place.
Yeah, of course. But just a different outlook for Hobart. They played without Thompson all year, played with their cousin Sinnott, who's ironically now out with an injury.
Yes.
Not likely to see finals action at all, not potentially till grand final week. Violation there. And then Shana comes back in within the first sort of 5 minutes last week, bit of a strain, speaking to her post-game, just in that shoulder. So it's going to be interesting to see how she plays, but it doesn't matter what side, at really what level, as you can see there. Doesn't matter what level she's on, Ronnie, she makes a big difference.
And she does. And she made that difference last week. Her presence, her shooting ability helps this Phoenix team big time. As
Stevenson.
As we speak about, a big difference in shooting, Stevenson down the other end just goes whack.
Yeah, she's been a big inclusion as well. Spent a lot of the year out. Wilton there with the ball. We thought she'd done a serious injury and a senior roster. Stepped clean out of bounds there.
And it's a light blue line here too, JB, just for all our viewers that do tune in on the broadcast. Light blue lines. There's a fair few lines here at the Kingborough Sports
There's
Centre.
a lot of lines I'm seeing. 2 basketball courts running parallel, 2 netball courts running parallel. You've got the white lines for the actual netball. You've got the yellow for, I'm assuming, badminton or volleyball.
Badminton. Yep.
So, a lot going on here. The typical high school gym, though. Kingston High not far away. Tell you what's not far away. That's shot there from Teo. Onto the roll bank. Didn't get it. Rebound there by Kingston. Up and under. That's good. And that's 7-all. And typical Mark Nash, he's wanting good transition D, but he also wants quick transition offence, Ronnie. So, certainly something we're used to all year from the Kings.
Oh, absolutely, that running game, and then on that last possession they find the open gap in the middle and able to get that one to go.
And Camp airballing that one. Rose Michael out and about. Again, one of the stars of this under-22s team. Pia Rhodes, she's a star of the future herself. Vanderkamp, the big rebound. And Eliza slowly lifting her game. Round 2 of State League. She's going to want to look to get some minutes there. Same with Thompson. In fact, a lot of this under-22 squad, Ronnie, particularly for Hobart, have played a lot of valuable minutes in the State League so far.
Yeah, round 2 coming up this weekend, of course, JB. We'll touch on that in one of the timeouts, but yeah, it's always valuable to get those minutes and extra minutes here in the 22s. As Thompson just feeling a little bit, she just adjusting her straps there. Probably more adjusting her straps there.
Yeah, just adjusting the strap. Substitution here from Coach Nash, getting the girls through the lineup. And I think that's going to be key too, Ronnie. It has been warm the last couple of days. It's set to be near 30 tomorrow.
Oh, yes, you're not wrong.
Wednesday today, Thursday tomorrow, meant to be 30. But I think temperature, and atmosphere is going to play a big pressure, which is probably the key to using the rotations tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Benches are going to be vital, I think, coming down the stretch here. Kingston go 10 deep here, and Phoenix only got 3. So we'll see if that comes into play later in the game.
Rose Michael missing that. Eliza Crespin there. Gets the offensive outlet pass. Thompson pull up for 3. Good. And timeout there from Mark Nash. He has seen enough, and understandably too, that transition offence from Thompson just firing away there. And the girls are off to an 10-8 start there, almost halfway through the first. And I feel a slight cold breeze coming through the window here, running.
Yeah, first time in a while we've had a bit of a cold draft come through.
Especially on an unders night. There's a few in, actually. Probably extenuated by the fact that we can see all of them a bit further away, but easily one of the best crowds we've had in for a junior, and under-22s game this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Finals always brings out some extra people, which is always good to see, and good on them. Hopefully we'll get a big crowd in for next week when the grand final rolls around.
Yeah, the winner of this game going on to play Southern Wolves in the women, and the winner of our next game in the men's going on to play Glenorchy. So that one's going to be interesting. Hearing a rumour just in the men's one, Ronnie, quickly as we touch on that before they get into it, that the Wolves will be absolutely depleted if they get through to the grand final, because I'm hearing the GYC graduation is next Wednesday, and with Jacob Richards, Isaac Collins amongst that, that could cause some problems there, the GYC graduation.
And of course, being an ex-GYC student, it's a big calendar on the GYC school year. So it's very important for those guys to put school first in that forefront. And just the devastating scheduling issue with the grand final being played next week.
We'll see what happens. Hearing that Glenorchy are willing to negotiate a different time as Vanderkamp foul, she didn't think she got any arm on it. In fact, the way she's walking there, don't think she touched it at all. But just quickly, as we were talking about before, Ronnie, we've got State League coming up this week, and Hobart have run a really young State League side, all pretty much except, say, Ashana Thompson and Kylie McCauley, some youth players, all around or under that 18 years of age mark. Really valuable learning experience for them this summer.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it's good that Hobart Phoenix are finally going in that youth movement type thing. I think
transition period.
Yeah, transition period as well too. And I think it's good that the old guard at that club, and respect to them as well too, that they recognise and understand that we really need to push some younger blood now, because we're not getting any younger, are we? So no, it's good. It's good for them, and expect them to improve this weekend.
Yeah, their women's side, obviously here in the under-22s, a wee bit more competitive than the men's. I mean, the men's side there, they're running around with under-18s. Nonetheless, there's not much they can run with that. Block there, Stratzman leaning in. She'll go to the line for 2, and exactly, Mark Nash wanting her to stand straight up, but Other than the Kings running a bit of a mixed bag. They run a mix of sort of a senior and of junior. They've got a few sort of mix-in players to their squad, but a lot of good talent coming through nonetheless in this Kings side. I mean, we talked all year in the senior ranks of Rose, Michael Lapera Rhodes and Matteo Stevenson, but there is a lot of talent there in that young Kings squad.
Oh, absolutely there is, and I think the future is bright for this club. And you only got to look. There's 2, 4, 5, 6 on the bench there. So
Chloe Kiddo isn't in uniform.
Yeah, so you make that 7. So they go 12 deep, and that's a good sign going forward for this club.
Big 3 from the Kings. That's good.
Great shot there by Abby Brown, and again she'll bring some energy into this lineup right now.
So that extends the Kings out to the lead now. They lead 13-11. Nearly short-lived there. Aitchison fighting under there for the boards. 3-on-1 there. Can't get it. The Kings are out. Taken away by Thompson. And she goes up and under off the glass around Nash. It's a good finish. That ties the game back up there inside of 4 minutes in the first quarter. Semi-final time. The winner of this going on, as we mentioned, to play the Southern Wolves. Lay up there in the Kings. Yeah. And we've actually got I'm actually working most of that crowd run for the Kings, as we've asked all year. Isn't the crowd itself, it's the bench.
It is the bench, yes.
The Kings bench is definitely the loudest, but I think that's a psychological advantage too, Ronnie. I mean, you get a bit more echo in a place like this, and sometimes noise can be a factor in a game.
Oh, absolutely. But what you want is that bench to be your 6th man for you, and be that supportive voice that sometimes you need out there as a 5. And that helps big time as Stevenson knocks down the triple.
Massive shot there by Stevenson. And Mark Nash just sending up more reserves there. They now lead 18-15, getting a response back on that Thompson pull-up. Three people coming in there for the Kings, so it wasn't a joke there when we said that Nash really wants to use his rotations.
I think that's not a bad move either. Get some quick rotations in, get some quick energy. Last couple of minutes here, they're looking to bring in some players that can bring that energy. So this might be a good substitution for Mark Nash.
I think a big thing of that too is just to shut the lineup. Don't allow Hobart to get into a defensive key. Geez, that's a foul there. Should go to the line. But I think that's the key there from Nash too, is to just disrupt the Hobart defence, not allow them to get set into their ways, really disrupt who they're guarding.
Yeah, absolutely. And you speak about Coach Nash being very defensive minded. I think now he's kind of brought in a lineup here that will be a bit, try to disrupt Phoenix on their defensive end when they get into a set. But their problem at the moment is just trying to get back on transition here at the moment and try to stop that break. I mean, good recognition from Thompson there on that pass. They need to do a better job of getting numbers back quick.
Yeah, major focus here for Mark Nash. Defensive rebound outlet pass, something he was quite good at back in his NBL days, Ronald. I mean, you don't win championships for nothing.
Absolutely, and Mark's proven that time over time. We speak enough of his credentials already, and championship winner with the 36ers, so he knows how to win at the highest level.
Travel called there by the referee. We're inside 2.5 minutes.
And of course, I should mention too, Seabull South Conference women's champion as well too. So he knows. He knows.
Yeah, played in the Chargers 2008 men's championship.
That too as well, yes. So we might as well put out his whole resume.
Pretty much got everything there. One of the last players back in the Devils days was actually a high-performance coach. Not many people realise was a high-performance coach there for the Chargers in their 2018 championship. So, I mean, he's pretty much been there, done it all. Been managing of recent times as well, still keeping his head in the game and keeping in touch with how the player movements and all that are going. So, I mean... And,
of course, also, too, JB's helped us out here in the broadcast coverage side of things as well.
Certainly has.
As one of our expert commentators. It's going to be sad to lose him next year in our rotations when we need a bit of help, but...
Yeah, heading back into some more senior positions is Mark.
Yes, I think more can be revealed on Chargers TV in the next couple of days, Jobo.
Pretty much. This game won't be going out until a little bit later, so that's all well and good. Pia Rhodes, skip pass there to the wing inside there, taken away. Good hustle there from Hobart. Unable to get that one.
And again, it's that defensive disrupting the D, but that's more on the Phoenix end here where they just steps up a bit. Timeout's been called, JB. 19 plays 18 here.
Crespin calling that one.
So Crespin obviously happy with that defensive possession. Now he'll try to make some adjustments here and see if they can stop. And I assume Mark will set up a play. The beauty of being in our old commentary booth here, JB, we kind of get to hear the coaches in some ways. We can hear Mark speaking there. So it looks like he's got a play drawn up there. I can just see his whiteboard, and
Yeah, got a bit working down there.
Yeah, so it looks like he's looking for something on the cutter. So, I mean, probably our golden rule here, JB, probably not get the whiteboard in as a bit of show of respect to Coach Nash. But
we won't be zooming, don't worry about that. We'll go back to his top of his eye line.
Yeah,
there we go. Can't see much
we'll
of
just keep to the old NBL rule there, JB.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine they'd be too keen to us be doing analysis on that one. Meanwhile, Adrian Crespin, old school, he just tells them and go there.
That's it. It's the there's two generations of coaches here. Mark, obviously the modern day version coach, and Crespin, as you say, old school type approach.
Yeah, really just drills it into his team as the side ball here. 2:02 remaining in the first, and a nice tight game early, and Hobart still managing to stick around, which for the Kings, Ronnie, really isn't that great for them. Good hands there, but it isn't great for the Kings to allow Hobart to stand around because they do have players that can execute down the stretch and hit the big shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's only early, obviously, but I mean, you want to get that early. You want to get that early lead and assert your dominance.
That's it.
Good hands by Van der Kamp there. She manages to get that away. Well, they're off to the races here, Hobart. Up and down the court with these. They're going to get into a set, and that's a good stop. Out there on Strathmore.
That's a second to JB, so Coach Nash has to pull the trigger and get Maddie Strathmore off because she'll be vital later down the track. You just can't risk getting that third within the next 106 seconds here.
Yeah, so she's off there. Holly Nash back in. That also puts Hobart in the bonus. They don't mind getting inside and getting some contact either, so look to them to try and get to the foul line one or two more times before the end of this. Around the world and out. Again, semi-final time. We're going to going through playing the Southern Wolves, facing the likes of Sarah Marston and Ellie Collins, Shania Kinch, Cassie Simmons, a lot of talent on that team.
And I have noticed the Southern, as a good pass inside there to Bynum for the two. I've just noticed the Southern Wolves head coach for the women's is here tonight and he's scouting both opponents. So you can see him down there. He's just kind of up there in the back row there. We've probably got him in picture, yeah.
Yeah, in picture there, keeping quiet. But it's the best way to scout it, I suppose. And that's going to be hands by Rose Michael.
Yeah.
And that's going to be two. Again, Thompson's the wrong person to put on line.
Yeah, and that's just a bad decision by Rose Michael. Just trying to swipe, just show your hands and let Thompson try to do something on the dribble rather than just a cheap foul like that. So Bones out and Stevenson comes in. So again, that's not a bad... Good substitution there. Probably need another good shooter out on the floor here for the Kings. With their lineup, they're very small in what they're doing. Probably similar heights, JB, as well too.
Yeah, well, Van der Kamp and Bynum, they're certainly the two talls. They've run a pretty good tandem all year. So you would have thought that would be a key focus of Mark Nash's defensive strategy, particularly when you consider that. Not saying Thompson's unstoppable, but in circumstances like this, you've kind of got to, expect her to go for 20. There's that ball inside, nice from the Kings.
Yeah, good kind of bailout kind of type play there after being trapped in the corner. That was well executed there.
Thompson on the wing, she's been doubled there. That's a kick out there, Bynum up and under. Nash gets a hand to it, big block, and that's a hand foul there from Hobart. Just reaching in.
And a good set there, forced a tough shot. Holly Nash making it to the spot. And getting the block there, so good job there by the Kings.
And again there, Rose Michael now with the ball handling duties. She's working away up court, she's not afraid to get through. That one's going to be a reach round. Wanted the foul. Mark Nash not worried about that, just wanted straight up in the D. Got it, and that one's going to go through, and I don't think he's very happy with that, but nonetheless, good drive there by Thompson. No,
the only question we'd probably have there, well, if we're going to call a soft reach there, we should call one there. So, I mean, that'd be, so Nash is completely on my point that I've just made here. So, again, Mark will try to work the referees over as any smart coach will do.
Misses that one, Thompson, and misses the putback there from Van der Kamp. Bynum now steps inside, good drop and good finish. And for someone who's predominantly a netballer of recent years, Ronald, that footwork has come right to the forefront in this under-22s competition.
It's as Michael goes for three. I'll come to that foot thing in a moment.
And Wilton, that one gets deflected out.
Actually, I'll come to it now. Sometimes netball is quite a good advantage when you transition into basketball because obviously netball and basketball, similar footwork techniques. And And the
Shot clock was not starting.
and the score table there, just half asleep down there. Obviously, finals, the players and that are going to be, right on the score bench tonight as well too. So
There we go. So there was shot clock was running. It's now not running. There was no.
it was under 14, JB.
Yeah.
So
5 seconds here in the quarter. Thompson's going to want to get a shot up. Gee, well, that was a terrible offensive execution. I don't know why you'd idle. To me, I think that was just a waste of an idle pass and almost a bailout there. Nonetheless, our score is 27-20 in favour of Hobart. We'll take a quick break and come back with the second. Second quarter about to get underway here, Ronnie. And reasonably intense huddles from both coaches, really. I think Adrian Crispin wanted some better execution there on that last offensive play. Meanwhile, I think Mark Nash is really going to want his defence to tighten up here and doesn't really want to risk that double-digit margin and the potential of not being able to crawl back from it.
I felt like last week was, the intensity went up a little bit as well too. Just getting a bit of a tease for this week. So, and both teams have responded well coming out of that first quarter, very intense. And Kingston only 7 down, which is good. So they're in arm's length here.
Ball now passing around the perimeter. That mid-range shot from Rhodes is good. 27-22 is our scoreline. Again, we're in early in the second quarter. Semi-final time here under 22s in the south. And the winner of our southern grand final, Ronnie, going through to our, I do believe, to face the winner of the northern under 22s, is it?
Well, the NWBU are in semi-finals action at the moment as well too, JB. So as Rhodes misses that one, we'll have to get some confirmation from Scott Boucher. Obviously, this was talked about earlier in the year, but then from what I've been told, wasn't going ahead, but maybe could be going ahead. We might have to get Scott Boucher up into the commentary booth and get that all confirmed.
I won't jump in front of the camera yet. Last thing I want to do, we'll get this one over half court and have a bit of a browse. Well, we might not need to. Vanderkamp ploughing in there, get away with one. Bynum, big shot there. And surprisingly for a netballer, Ronnie, good range. You never usually see him leave the, lower part of the block there. A big block there, good stretch defence.
Just going to say, Byron has played previously in juniors, but netball course taken over as Thompson makes the layup. She's got a whack for her Rories there too and come off second best.
She's a little bit second best off on that one. She's come down slowly, caught that one in the face. Looks like Rose Michael just going to check on her there. Either that or she's meant to be guarding her, I'm not too sure. One or the other. Good friends there. Here Rhodes takes that one away after the deflection. That one's going to be a hands foul. So we just quickly get a peep.
He's somewhere
Yes,
down there. Yes.
I thought I'd move before he gave me some foreign sign language on.
Oh, righto. No worries.
Yeah, Scotty Boucher definitely down there. We'll get confirmation with him as to what's going on. Meanwhile, Rose Michael with the ball now. She kicks it over to Rhodes. Doesn't mind that wing position for a shot. She gets to the elbow. Dump down pass. Good execution. Biden said, get out of my house. Thompson's going to clear that one away. 24-31 in favour of Hobart here. Substitution, Stratsma coming into the bench. She'll be there soon. And that was just too much smart Alec sort of effort. Oh, my goodness. That one's a clean block. That was loud, Ronald, we'll say.
Loud. Oh, if we had a replay on that, JB, I'd love to have a look at it again.
I'm going to suggest it was extremely low on the ball, if it was, Ronald. Meanwhile, we'll move on. That'll be a block to Thompson. That one was loud. That was off Vanderkamp. You didn't get offered a game this week, Ronnie?
No. The rule is with me that they only bring me in if we're really, really short, JB, which was the case last week.
You got your own contract here, do you?
Yeah, I do.
I
do.
It's a man in the box and out of the box and in the coaching ranks and the refereeing ranks.
Yes, when you get to a certain point and you've been there, done that, JB.
Oh, no, here it is. He pulls seniority left, right and centre.
What words you do these days?
Well, to be fair, I mean, yeah, fair enough. If you can do it, that's fair enough. We've been pretty consistent with our refs all year, though. I must say, especially all roster. That one's Vanderkamp picking that one up. I don't think she deliberately wanted it. Thompson now with the ball, but getting back to the referee situation, they're pretty consistent all roster. There hasn't been many changes, which has been good, and I think that allows the players too to play with a bit more continuality. Thought there was an offensive foul there. Got away with that one. And that's going to be a jump ball. That's going the other way.
Whoever that last play had any effect, I mean, it's a 50-50 call in that one, JB, because it looked like a slow motion from where we are up here. So probably a good no call in the end.
Very interesting there. 31-24 our scoreline. Hobart really haven't moved off that. Rhodes is open the long two. That looks good. Don't get a friendly roll. She knows these rims probably better than a lot of others. Thompson now with the ball. She's had a pretty good start to this game. She wants to split a defender. Gets the blocking foul there. And that'll be a substitution there. And that is some severe sunburn, Ronnie.
Yeah, fair to say Abby Brown's obviously enjoyed the warm weather this week, but has paid the price for it, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, there's a few of the girls running out there with tans, and we've got the white balance. We've got the white balance perfect, so they're definitely tanned for this one, right?
Yeah.
Can't say that in other videos we've done, but Abby Brown has, a lobster that's been overcooked. That's all I'll say there. Right down there from the Kings wanting that one. That one to go out of bounds. As that'll be Wilton and Crespin checking in. Reflecting on your performance last week, Ronnie, what were your what was some of the highs you had in reffing throughout this roster? Not only last week, obviously, last week was quite fun to watch as a spectator watching you ref. We always provide good value for money, but I mean, what have you found reffing this league, Ronnie? What's made it different as an under-22, a formal under-22 comp in comparison to other comps you participated in before?
I was going to say they're quick for a start, JB. Obviously, goes to show why as a foul's been called on a play. Goes to show why I've kindly retired from this aspect of the game. But
you're only in your early 30s. Come on now. Don't make it seem like you're in your 50s.
Look, it's always nice to come back and just help them out. And the standard obviously seems to get better as we go along. So I thought when we did as Strassman misses that one, as we fought quickly, the boys were great to ref. They were good fun, and the girls last week proved to be sometimes can prove to be a challenge, but it's always good. It keeps you switched on and focused. As Stevenson with a party trick of her own gets it to go.
Out.
And they're down by 5 now, 31-26, JB.
Bullet pass there from Thompson. That one not received as well by Vanderkamp. Crespin with the ball. She's wide. Bynum steps out to the 16 feet. Gets a friendly roll. But no, it's an interesting dynamic when you've got the whistle on too, Ronnie. I mean, you see it from all angles consistently. I mean, out there on the floor as a ref, behind the camera here with a microphone, down there coaching. I mean, you play a little bit socially to help fill in areas as well. So, I mean, you're around a lot of these guys and girls as well from all aspects of the game. So, I mean, to have that understanding of what they do, I mean, it has to help you in all aspects of the game you participate in a sense.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that helps with obviously managing players. That helps with controlling the game. And controlling our coaches as well too. The last thing we want is our coaches to be, doing star jumps on the sideline. So making sure that we control them as well too. And it's never an easy job. As much as sometimes I can say that it is never easy. It's one of the toughest gigs we've been officiating around the world, and certainly brings you great joy. As Abby Brown knocks down the triple, brings you joy and good rewards if you work hard and get to the higher levels.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, was that off the glass?
No, that was all. That was
clean.
That was clean. Bank rim.
That makes sense. There's a foul on
And then Abby Brown, does a great job offensively, but defensively there just got caught out of position there, and could have done better there as Vanderkamp goes to the line for 2.
Based on the tanning efforts, I'm going to suggest that she's not going to want a lot of contact on those arms either, Ronnie.
No, but the beauty of Abby Brown is she's a tough girl. She plays through a lot of tough contact and a lot of pain, and her family background is quite a good sporting one. So no doubt those sporting genes and tough genes would be there in her body.
Anyone of note coming from that family, Ronald?
I'll come back to you. Come back to you.
There's Abby Brown there with the ball. Kicks to Rose Michael. The Kings back within 4. This could make it within 1. Not available there. Stevenson under the glass. She's not performing party tricks on this attempt. Dribbles that out. Abby Brown now with the ball. Gives to Nash. Nash using it. Gives to Michael. Michael wanting to get the shot up. She's got 3 seconds. Needs to. Long shot. Thought there was a travel. Gets away with it. Lobbing hook shot. Off the rim. Rose Michael battling for the ball. Nonetheless, Thompson's going out. She got Crespin one side, Vanderkamp on the other. Vanderkamp gets it at its good peak, uses the glass, and a good finish there.
Yeah, absolutely. Good transition there. And again, the Kings have got to get back and try to stop that transition. That's all that's pretty much keeping Phoenix on the lead at the moment, is that transition when they get out and run.
6 points there. That's a high arcing drive, no good, taken away by Wilton. And Hobart again wanting to stretch this to double digits. It seems like a lot of teams recently, they get to that double digit mark, no matter the time in the quarter, and they just haven't seemed to be able to really lift, Ronnie. I mean, we've had a couple of examples of sparks off the bench. Thought that was an offensive foul. Got away with that one, Wilton. Bynum with the ball. She thought she had contact. Referee letting it go under there. That one's finally going to be a jump ball. But that double digit lead seems to have really been pivotal in both competitions, Ronnie. Once a team gets there, they don't usually give it up.
No, usually not. But again, finals is a different story, so I'll be interested to see how this game plays out. Now, I'll quickly come to Jason Brown, who's Mark Nash's assistant, former Hobart Hornets player and now assistant coach. Her daughter, of course, is Abby Brown, so you can tell where the genes are coming from, Jobo.
Yeah, basketball acumen flowing straight through there. Good passing there from the Kings. They're going to want to get a basket out of this, though. They need to slow down. The pass is there, the shot's there, more passing. Getting inside, really confusing the defence. Great ball man that's been ruined by an extra pass.
Just a bit overdriven there.
Thompson on the drive.
Yeah,
She's
timeout.
Timeout from Mark Nash. That one's given. 2:55 remaining here in the first half. And just notably there, though, Ronald, you can see Shana Thompson wanting to step that out. She copped a bit of a cork earlier. She's just wanting to walk that one out. So the margin is out to 8. As I mentioned, that double-digit lead's going to want to grow. But it's going to be interesting to see how they close out this half. Again, Thompson's sore, and she's been the catalyst of a lot of their offence. Really executing on some loose balls there defensively as well. Probably her biggest strength defensively, being able to play the passing lanes. But, I mean, who's going to step up here from this Hobart squad if that works? They go back to the tandem of Bynum and Vanderkamp? Or just try and spread the ball a bit more?
I think you got to look at, if you're Hobart Phoenix here, I think that's your big three is Vanderkamp, Bynum and Thompson. They're pretty much the glue to this team. And right now, if they can, if Bynum can keep finding shots, Vanderkamp keeps working down low hard, and Thompson can knock down a long ball, you could pretty much be safer, better than sorry. So, Crespin there, very composed in his time out. I can see him making some points there.
They don't call him the Don for nothing.
That's very true, JB. And I'm just hearing there from Coach Mark Nash, and looks like they're going to run some man-to-man. So, again, they change up their defence a little bit, see what they can get out next minute or so. I wouldn't be afraid if Nashy does go back into a bit of a zone to close it out, or he sticks with man-to-man for the rest of this quarter.
Well, I think that's what makes Mark a dynamic coach as well. I mean, you're in a semi-final here. I mean, most coaches would stay safe, stay to their strength, stay to their game plan. Whether it's in his game plan, I'm not sure, but Mark willing to change things up on the fly and just give things a mix to see how they go. As Abby Brown fires that one and misses, but I mean, seldom will you see a coach want to do that on either end, Ronald. But I mean, by any means necessary in a do or die situation.
Oh, and you got to be creative as a coach as well too. You got to find ways of changing things up just to see what can work for you in a short amount of time, or what can last a longer jeopardy. So it'd be interesting to see what they do.
Nice lob pass there from Bynum. And that one's gone straight into the hands of Vanderkamp. Just 1-2, and that double-digit lead is officially upon us, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Good hands by Wilton. Should have a bit more intent there, and she runs away with that.
Let's just see now where Phoenix gets a stop here and push it out to 12.
And that's what it's going to need. They're both rolled there on the defender. Couldn't get to Michael quick enough. She's taking a long shot. Did not look like missing from our vantage point, Ronnie.
No, that was good off the hand, JB, and a good find as well too. Again, Hobart just allowing Kingston to let that open three fly, and at the moment, kind of not working.
Oh, the footwork, the spin, good finish. A la Anthony Davis today, who had 40 and 20 for the Lakers in three quarters. Bynum out here dominating with that footwork. Baseline left open. Vanderkamp coming across late, disrupts that shot. Nash with the offensive rebound, kicks out to Rhodes. She gets that one to fall.
And again, another good find as well too. Down this end of the floor, they just got to do a better job. Maybe they need to look at doubling Bynum down low and stop that move going through.
34-41, that's too easy. No seal there. Big block by Nash. Following her father's footsteps. It's not hard to find who the acumen is there. Pia Rhodes jump shot. Needed that. No rebounders, though. And they're out again here. Thompson not getting down as quick as she'd like.
And that's the shot you want to hit to get a bit of momentum after a good block down there. That's the one you want to hit. So, unfortunate there for Pia Rhodes.
Bring your crow. There we are. Bynum down low. Hesitation step. Wanted that one. Wilton offensive rebound. A bit slow to get that one up. Kicks back out. And that drive there, that one's going to be a foul.
I mean, the second team foul too for Kingston. Actually, both teams have,
They've come back from the first round. I think they've really felt out. I mean, that's another thing in finals too. Not that the refereeing changes, but there's a tendency to let players decide the game. And I think the players have really adjusted to that early.
Absolutely, and that's always what we want from a referee perspective, is let the players decide the outcome of these things. And, we just got to make sure we're hidden and not be seen.
Out and about here, Stevenson. She's had a pretty good start and return to this comp. Commentator's curse on that one, but showed her stripes early. There's Vanderkamp. That's a much better catch, a much better pass. And the execution from Hobart, he really lifted in the second half of this quarter, Ronnie.
Absolutely. And again, that transition for Hobart, once again, proving dominant there, caught Kingston napping.
Stevenson fighting through the contact, goes off the right hand, and yeah, I felt that bruise come across the building too. Nothing but net, not in a good way there. We're in the final seconds of this quarter. Shot clock difference here, about a second. So it's going to be interesting to see. Hand checking there from Michael, just keeping Thompson on pace. So I want a screen there. They're looking to run like a horns there. Needs to get up. And that's a dump down. That's a good cut by Aitchison and great execution to finish the quarter there. Half time, that one's not going to count no matter the effort. Half time, 45-34. That double digit lead is now to 11. Hobart will go in with a lot of momentum and we'll be back in the third quarter after this. Righto, Ronnie. Second half, we've ploughed the water, the chockies and the chips into us. Shout out to the Kingborough Sports Centre Canteen, who once again have not failed to deliver.
Correct, JB. They bring good catering to us as always.
And at $13.95 a purchase, you too can have the catering for the Kingborough Sports Centre. But I'll tell you what, I'll be buying that bucket back on film. Taya Stevenson opens up the second half with the momentum the Kings are going to need. And I mean, we sort of paid a bit of attention there at half time, Ronnie, but I mean, the mental strain, as we mentioned so far in this competition, has been no team has pretty much no team's really come back that it was too easy there. But no team's actually come back from a double-digit deficit, really, all year in the games we've covered, Ronnie. I mean, what do you think Mark Nash has been talking about there in the timeout? I mean, obviously he wants early execution, which he's started to somewhat get. But I mean, you reckon he's talked about in the half-time huddle? What do you think he's trying to motivate his players to do?
Obviously, the vantage point we got up here, JB, we were able to kind of earwig a little bit on what he was saying. And what I could hear was about how he doesn't like Hobart getting 2 baskets in a row, which all of a sudden just kills that momentum for him. So really, he's emphasising the defensive end more rather than the offensive end, where it should come to itself. And there you go, there's back-to-back baskets there for the Kings. So they've come out firing here, and they're back within 6.
Going to need the momentum here with a stop. Meanwhile, if you're Adrian Crespin, you don't want to necessarily put it on cruise control in a game like this. But I mean, what sort of factors come into it from Hobart? They're up by 3. That 3 up by Vanderkamp. But what sort of factors come into it here? I mean, defence, obviously they're focused now with a bit of momentum from the Kings. But what are they going to want to do here?
Right now, you just weather the storm that Kingston putting on, and
I'll tell you what, bang!
And right now, I'd probably go for the timeout button. That's a 7-sip run. I wouldn't allow any more than that. 3 baskets in a row. They should really, if Coach Crespin doesn't call a timeout in the next possession or so, there might be some troubles here for Hobart.
Yeah, 9-0 run is what they're potentially going to look at here. Unable to get the answer, and that's what P is going to want to do. They're going to want to extend this to a 9-10-0 run. And this game is all of a sudden back in the balance. Stevenson, she's the girl to do it.
She's feeling it.
Ooh. Thought we were going to see a friendly roll there too, Ronnie.
Yeah, I thought there the basketball gods might smile upon her on that one, but unfortunately not.
We weren't able to get anything there. Holly Nash subbing in. So Mark Nash still wanting to keep the rotations too, the consistency on both ends. Thompson hitting the 3 to quell things a bit here, but key for Hobart now is to get that stop.
Yeah, now they need a stop. So that's a good settler basket for them. But again, too easy. They've just allowed that middle to be open, and Adrian Crespin won't be happy. He's looking to go for the timeout button as he's approaching the bench.
I think he's hesitant. That's one thing you notice with Adrian. He's not necessarily, not that he's unconventional, but he has a lot of belief in his players and their ability to recognise the issue on the floor. He's going to go for it now, though, surely.
Yeah.
Yep, there it is.
That's 2 now. That's a big play for the Kings. vital miss there for Hobart, and then all of a sudden the Kings on their transition get one back on their own.
And that's going to
And
bring it back to 1 point if this one falls.
yeah, absolutely, JB. So really good start to this quarter by Kingston have just gone bang and gone on a near 10-step run, while Hobart have just kind of had to rely on a couple of Thompson buckets just to keep them kind of just settled and not get too phased here.
Mark, now there, I was just asking the question. That basket was good. It hasn't been put up. There it is now.
There we go.
So they're going to go for the ball from the and one. We'll just listen. Yeah, just listening there, it sounds like Crespin really just wanting his girls to put in a bit of effort there. He's sick of the uncontested shots, and just in general, he's not happy how flat his girls are coming out of the break.
Yeah, I think that's more on a defensive end. I think.
Exactly.
I think offensively they've been great.
Yeah, they're just not being attentive.
Defensively, you got to be up and in on them, really be red on the ball, red on D type thing, and I think that's what he's really emphasising, is really trying to get these girls kind of get up, deny. You got to keep Thompson out of the game, because she's the killer for this Kingston team. There's no doubt about it. Because she can just knock down that shot at any given time. We know how much practice Shana puts her work in. So we know that she's a quality shooter, and now the Kings need to work hard defensively.
Hobart really struggling to box out there. That's not necessarily a telling sign either. The big thing here for Hobart too is all of that run has burnt time off the clock. I mean, we're at just over 3 gone. That one's out. If the Kings can get some movement here, this one's off to the races. She's got players with her here, Stevenson. 5 on 3 if they get it moving. They do. Gives it to Michael. She gets inside. Pia Rhodes, 15 feet. That's good.
Yeah, nice. Good again. Good patience. Good action off that. Good look.
Good action here from the Kings. We're back to a tie ball game, and they really, really want it here. It's going to be interesting to see just how they push through with it. Wilton wanting to get inside. That was a very casual pass, we'll say. But again, this is one thing that we noticed with Mark, and this is one thing he's drilled in the first half. He's mixed up his defences. He's seen most of Hobart's offense here, and again, not gambling, but taking his chances. That's a dangerous cross-court pass. They've really not worked tonight for Hobart, Ronnie, and I'm actually just wondering, do you think maybe creating that extra passing option up the top for Hobart is going to be the key for them in the second half, rather than gambling across court? We saw just quickly as Bynum goes in, she drew contact there from Crespin. Not from Crespin, from Rhodes. Wanted to foul, but I mean, how do you go about that? Do you stick with that cross court, or you try and get the extra passing option in?
I think you try to get the extra pass. Well, we've always emphasised that an extra pass, find an open play. It's more that sacrifice that you're going to make for the team that really is going to help in the long run here, and that's a good find as well. Michael to Rhodes on that one, beautiful. Yeah,
they were down 9. They've conceded 1-3, so this is essentially 9-8, 7-6. They're up by 2. This has been a massive run here. Almost a 15-3 run here to open this quarter here for the Kings, who are showing some tremendous motivation on this one at the moment. 5:36, Mark Nash. I've never, ever, ever heard the sound. The sound effect that just came out of Mark Nash's voice reminds me of a decent stop in the cab on a Saturday night on the way home to feed the animals, Ronnie. That one's going to be on the floor.
But this is where, 5 minutes in, they've spent a lot of energy both ends of the floor. This is where you've got to keep your concentration up. I mean, they got to learn to just stay switched on that. They just allow a mental lapse there. Now they've got to really make it up here. See what they got.
Rhodes nearly at the bottom of the backboard on that. Oh, not Rhodes, sorry, Michael. Holly Nash getting inside. Draws the defence, goes the drop down. She's blocked out of her shoes there.
And that wasn't a good move either from Holly Nash. They're just dribbling into traffic. That's a poor move. Kick that ball around and, again, look for that open look.
Just notice Kylie McCauley's come down here to the bench. Nothing but net there from Wilton in a bad way. She stepped out of bounds there, Vanderkamp.
Well, I was going to say, Brett Vanderkamp came from the same side earlier in the game. Yeah. So Coach Crespin just called on his coaching staff to get over here. So
the higher powers of the Hobart Phoenix. There's only one bloke higher up at the moment. He's standing here with a microphone on his hand. the most flexible man in the Phoenix organisation here with a... You've got a new addition to your jersey collection, I believe, this week, Ronald.
Yes, we will be updating the jersey collection over the next few days or early next week.
You've got another one coming, do you?
No. This was the last one to come in, the Moller one. So now we'll take a huge photo of the collection.
There we go.
Good fake.
Craig Moller in that one there off the backboard violation. And again, even though Hobart have only scored 4 or 5 points in time out there from Mark Nash, he's seen enough. But I mean, just quickly, Ronnie, we've seen Hobart, they've scored 5 points in this as a tie ball game, and this is a Kingston side that's playing like it's 10 up.
Yeah, it is. Again, that's credit to creating their offense and really sparking that. But again, they're just a little flat on defense. Like I say, just those couple of mental breakdowns. I mean, they give Thompson open 3. They give Wilton there an easy 2 off that layup. So again, it's playing 40 minutes. You can't play 35. You can't play 38. You've got to play a full 40 minutes here. If you want to make it into that final and take on to some, you got to play every single second like your life depends on it. Right now, this is do or die. They've got nothing to lose here. You might as well just go for it and hope for the best.
It's going to be interesting to see what goes here. Mark Nash actually not drawing much on his board. I think he's just wanting his girls to lift off that timeout that Crespin used earlier. And I mean, in a sense too, you use that timeout to reconstruct yourself here as a team from Crespin, but I mean, that was a good momentum-killing timeout as well to sort of bring back the level playing field, and it's paid off.
And absolutely, Joe. But sometimes as coaches, you got to pick your moments on timeouts, and then you got to pick your battles with your opposition coach. Just from a mental standpoint, obviously, physically, we're not going to go at each other, but just mentally, you're trying to
I hope we don't go at
No, I haven't seen that since God knows when, but.
Probably the QBA days.
Yeah, yes, that too. Is Scott Boucher? We got a microphone for Scotty Boucher.
The golden mic. A bit of John Laws about that one.
There is a bit of. We only bring that out for special people, JB.
It will not be 13-13-32.
No, it will not.
I think that's the old number, wasn't it? 13,
yeah, I think so.
Or something like that.
Yeah, it's good. Shout out to Babylon.
Bang! And one.
It's Thompson with a crispy drive. Stevenson. Apologies to Taya and
shout out to Kim,
who's
24/7. I don't know, miss.
But no, great job there by Taya. We've seen that from time to time again.
That's the second one tonight. Up and under in the basket, converts the own one.
And up by 3 now too, JB.
Yeah, real momentum turner from 11 down to 3 up and controlling most of this third quarter. We're nearly 6 minutes gone already, so this one really breezing through, and I think that's also going to be a factor too. One of the foul from behind didn't get it. Kyler McCauley up and about on that one. Player needs to get moving, does. Dumps down to Nash, have the drive, and uses that one as well. Now he wants his girls back on defence immediately, Mark, and he gets it.
Just in a bit of man coverage. Looks like a little bit of man coverage here, I think, too, JB. Taylor really pushing up on the floor there.
Outside of her basket early on in this game.
This looks like to be... Sorry, Joe, but this looks like, they're going to push Tay up the floor just to get a bit of extra pressure on, and they're dropping the girls back on. Looks like a bit of a... it looked like a 2-2 there with a little box. So I'll be interested, again, as we've spoken about, with the change-ups of defences from Mark Nash, it is, at the moment, paying off.
There's that ball inside. Thompson gets only her second basket of the quarter, and Rose Michael playing a pivotal defensive role on her. As you said, Ronnie, a bit of man coverage, but almost a box and one in sense too. As long as the other 4 are covered and Thompson isn't getting her shots, we should be fine. And I mean, that technique's worked so far. Pia Rhodes inside, draws a contact, doesn't get the foul. Fight for the rebound with Wilton. That one will go the way of Hobart.
Yeah, good drive. No, I like that. You just want that one. You wish you'd get a friendly roll on that one and like that one to drop. But, again, good aggressive drive by Pia Rhodes. Not afraid to take it to this Phoenix team. And, referee Thomas Hodder, just give me an explanation to Shana Thompson on what happened on the last play.
Wanting an explanation wouldn't be the first thing we've seen, is it, Ronald?
No.
You've had plenty of experience with that one, particularly last week. Meanwhile, we'll move on.
Move on, please.
Lydia checking into the game there.
Yes, Lydia McNamara.
Yes, usually tandemed up with Eliza Vanderkamp when she's off the court there. So it's going to be interesting to see what she can do. Good pass over there. Got Rose Michael in the air. Used a lot of lob. Wanted the contact. There's Lydia. She's going to get back in. That one's going to be play on. And Coach Crespin wanting the
now
foul.
is that going to be a shot clock?
No.
Going to go to 14.
Yeah, no, it hit the rim.
Right.
Hit the rim and knocked out of bounds. So As Brown checks back in. Or red. Brown, red, which one have we got? Absolutely. Thompson there goes inside on Rose Michael. Great finish there.
Strong move there by Shana Thompson too, just using her body and really working that one inside. Good work.
Real positive here for Hobart. They are still only down 1 despite the...
beautiful.
$1 million move and a 5-cent finish there from Rose Michael. Just couldn't get the job done.
Oh, we were ready for that one, JB.
Bang! Thompson responds on the other end.
And there you go. And that's the killer. If you don't get that one down there, Thompson kills you there on the 3. So that's a huge bucket here for Hobart.
Mark Nash not happy with that one at all. Inside 150 seconds. Good D from Crespin. Gets to the spot. Bynum with a rebound. And this Hobart side starting to look better. Thompson's breaking the shackles. Thompson, good defence. Played on her there by Rose Michael.
This has been a seesawing affair, JB. Really good quarter so far from
good
both
transition
teams.
there from the Kings. Again, needed the finish. But no box out there. Easy rebound by Pera Rhodes. Kick out, shot. No. Rhodes,
This
15.
one, that's a spot.
No good. More rebounds, Bynum. And again, back and forth, as we mentioned, Ronnie, these last few minutes, even though the scoring load seemed to have been with the Kings for most of it. 55-57. Good weathering of the storm here from Hobart. And that's for 3. Bang! Count it. Taya Stevenson coming back into this one quicker than she wanted. But Thompson showing just why she's Thompson. I think she's probably up to 10, 11 points in this quarter now, Ronnie.
Yeah, and she's been the main reason why Hobart have got back into this game right now, JB.
100%. Nash goes baseline, wants a dump down, gets it knocked back to Abby Brown off the glass.
No.
Pera Rhodes wanting the rebound, doesn't it? Lydia battling for the boards, missed that. The substitution. They're going to need to get moving here, the girls. As Nash and Rose Michael heard out inside 90 seconds here in the quarter.
Yeah, and again, we speak about playing that full 40 minutes here right now. You know, you can't allow Hobart to get any more baskets here. Kingston need to get a stop here this possession.
Thompson's just going to isolate. Looks like they're going to want to have a rotation 2 onto her there where they can. Screen by Bynum. And that's good hands there by Stevenson. No one pouncing on the ball there. 8 seconds. Stevenson can't get open. And that one's been fired into the back wall.
I was going to say, and he took out our senior intern, Hamish Bandercamp, down there.
He's got the shrug. All Mum can do is laugh. Fair enough, too. She's probably hoping she could fire a basketball at him some days. Never too much hassle for us. As Brown with the floater on the wing misses that. Rebound, Lydia. She's got some trouble. Thought she travelled, not called. They wanted the contact and they get that. Arknash questioning whether the raised pivot foot occurred. Meanwhile, to our right there, both Southern Wolves teams assembling, which is strange.
They're upstairs. Kingston are downstairs at the moment, JB. So,
yeah, staring at the 1,000-yard stare across the court.
Yes. I don't remind me about staring competitions. I've already had that today with Year 8 students.
As a coach? Or were you reffing?
No, coach.
Unruly students, Ronald?
Fair to say some of them had some very cordial today, JB, and fair to say Grumpy Ronnie had to come into the building.
That would have paid off. Lovely lunch lady Doris doing her best there at... Whereabouts was that, on the Friends School?
Yes, the Friends School. Shout out to the Friends School.
Yeah, and speaking of the Friends School, shout out to Max Schultz and his family
My
from the
word.
Queenstown Junior Basketball Association, their weekly plug. Doing their thing. Brett getting some Aussie Hoops programs organised, I think. Senior roster happening down there soon. Junior roster, they run through the winter now. So
I believe their AGM is coming up soon, I believe, JB.
AGM happening tonight, I believe, Ronald.
Oh, there you go.
On the 30th. So that is going to be interesting to see just how that works. Again, very few associations in the world that don't need a quorum to get underway.
Yeah, that's very
They've
true.
run that for in Queenstown for the best part of 20 years.
My
Shout out
word.
Amy Bradshaw and crew down there. Meanwhile, back here, inside 20 seconds, Kingston get the ball down low. Stratsman's not going to give that one up. Never has passed out of the post all season. And I'll stand corrected if it ever happens. Crespin now wants the contact, doesn't get it, but good layup, good finish. And that's extended this back out. Mark Nash is going to be very disappointed at the end of this quarter. 3 seconds. Shana Thompson getting across. Terrible pass. Bynum clears that out. Taken away. There's still a chance here, the Kings.
No.
That's not going to count. 3/4 time, the Kings work their way from 11 down to have a lead. And now Shana Thompson puts on the burners. It's 55-62 in favour of Hobart. They've got the lead going into the last, and we'll see what happens shortly. I think we're on, Ronnie.
Yep, beauty.
We're on, and we've actually got a third commentator. And somehow he's been given the golden mic. Hamish, you're upstairs here for the last quarter with us. We just saw you nearly get crunched by a basketball, but you made your way upstairs. Hobart are in the lead. What have you thought of them so far?
Well, I haven't really been watching the game.
But Ronnie, he's meant to be a senior intern.
Yeah, I know. Stevenson knocks down the triple. I'm going to have to review all contracts, I think, coming up very soon, JB.
What?
Besides yourself.
Thank you.
Besides
There we
yourself. Don't worry, you're
Wait,
locked
when
in.
did I sign a contract?
Okay,
A couple of years ago.
we'll mute that. Thanks, Hamish. Cheers. But so you haven't really been watching the game. Do you reckon Hobart can hold on though?
Yeah,
How much do you think they'll win by?
or like 2 or 4.
You reckon they'll only win by 2 or 4?
Yeah.
So he reckons it's going to go down to the wire. I might just nearly agree with him.
Well, I'll tell you what though, if they're going to if the Kingston D is just going to fall apart like it has here in the last few minutes, that could be a different story.
The last couple of minutes of the third quarter, JB, Hobart really took the game by the scruff of the neck and really came back into it, where Kingston, again, just lapsed a little bit. And these first couple of minutes now, Kingston have to take the game by the scruff of the neck.
See, and too
But-
easy. Mark Nash is not going to be happy with that. He's called Holly Nash straight into the game.
And we're quickly out to 8. So here now, this is where you got to knuckle down on a defensive side, but offensively now, you've got to execute.
Yeah, as Michael goes inside, and now they've got to get the stop. And again, it's
Yeah.
1 and 1, 1 and 1. You can't afford to make 2 and concede 2. It's
Absolutely.
one of those things. You've just got to get stops going. Thompson tore up the end of the third. She was the reason for this current margin. And again, Molly Sinnott, I do believe, is over there on the far side, Ronnie. Would that be her on the right-hand side there, sitting behind Marge Rava there in the... you see the lady in the red, then there's the young lady.
Yeah, that's Molly.
I
Yep.
do believe that is Molly. Yeah,
Yes,
well, I
that's
mean,
Molly.
Yep,
She's
it
had a
is.
big shot. Taya Stevenson. But I mean, that's the bonus that Hobart have had all year. They've had a senior player such as a Shana, such as a Molly, been able to go through the rotations, and I think that's really what's kept this Hobart team instead, and will certainly keep them competitive if they advance next week. Vanderkamp gets a call. That's just not straight up defence.
No. And again, Kingston taking that gamble with that matchup. I just don't think it's the right one. And now you need to bring in... they're going small ball again. I think this is not a bad move by Coach Nash. Go with small ball lineup. Just see what you can get out of this for, say, the next probably 2 or 3 minutes. And then maybe bring back your top bigs in to close the game out.
Small ball has worked, missed the free throw. Rose Michael up and about, and that's the thing. They're going to have to run and gun defence and score. Perry Rhodes wanting contact, doesn't get it. She's straight back on transition D. A 63-70. Now, Hamish, you're in basketball shorts. You have a game today?
No,
Why are you in basketball shorts?
because I had FDP.
Future Development Program.
Yes, run by Basketball Tasmania, JB.
How are you
And
going with that, Hamish?
Good. But you also have to wear black shorts, so I couldn't find my 30 hustle one, so I just decided to wear these.
Well, I think that might be in the contract negotiation, Ronnie. We're getting back on board for a pair of shorts. He just needs to learn how to pay attention to the game.
Dad and needs to remember not to leave his hat lying around too.
Which we did collect last week, mate. So
Yes, at my place. Thank you very
it's
much.
not here at the moment. The hat you left behind is his 3x3 hustle jersey. Have you got that signed?
No.
Did you get that off Lewis?
No.
No, he played in the 3x3
Oh,
competition.
yes, of course he did.
Yes.
I keep thinking it was you. I keep thinking you went away because I remember Lewis played in some 3x3. No, very good. As you can see, Hamish playing the game as well. There's his sister. Eliza passes out. We're not used to that in a low block. Uses the screen, 8 seconds, gets on the drive. Thompson, oh, hang on.
Oh.
That is a clash of knees, I'd say. Yep, she's very ginger.
Yeah.
Very,
Now let's just
very-
see what goes on now. Will she play through it, or will,
Right.
it looks like she'll play through it?
Might even be another cork, Ronnie. She had that, her left leg was a complaint earlier. I was going to see what happens on the right. We're just under 3 minutes gone. She's not paying attention to the ball, ref. How about we get that one back to her? Well,
No, ref's
Still
no.
going to keep going. Gets Bynum downstairs, gives to Vanderkamp, good shot, doesn't get the fall. Bynum balancing for that one. There's our favourite Canteen girl, Courtney Walker, has not helped us tonight,
No.
but it seems like she's in babysit mode there with young Max,
Yes.
who we will not tell there's a spare microphone up here. or we'll
No,
never
please
get it
don't
back.
tell him.
That'll end badly for us. And that one's going to be a foul on the baseline. Mark Nash, I wouldn't say soothing, but not in agreement with the call. What else have we been up to today, Hamish, other than FDP?
School.
What'd you get up to at school, Hamish?
Learned to swim.
you were learning to swim. How'd that go for you?
Good. Well, I already know how to swim. It's just to help us swim better.
Right.
Meanwhile, a good defensive play by Taya Stevenson causing Phoenix to turn it over there on the out of bounds. So let's see if they can get a bucket here, JB, and get this back to, say, 3.
Stevenson with plenty of intent on that one. One of the glass doesn't get it. She's gone down with relative ease. Always got to be careful there. Interesting footwork there from Nash. Doesn't pay off. And they're out here. Thompson's getting played on very, very well here. This last 6 minutes going to be cruel here for Kingston. Rose Michael down to Holly Nash going inside. Dump down
Take
pass
the
there.
shot, girl.
Couldn't get that one down. That one's out. Need to go over the top there. Crispin's under the basket. Too easy.
I'd rather Holly take the shot on that one, JB. Rather than that pocket pass in, go for it yourself on that one.
If you're not, especially if it's not a safe pocket pass. I mean, you've got Bynum and Vanderkamp under there at the moment. I mean, they've protected that paint well. And to just try and get execution on that, it's just not going to work. That looked all right out of the hand.
Snowball rotation on that.
Never ball rotation. I wouldn't suggest. It's very hard. It's strange watching Rose shoot. It has a little to no ball rotation on that one. Thompson now uses the screen. Nearly loses the handle. Mark Nash is...
Deep 3.
Deep 3. Well, tell you what, Hamish is up with it. Mark Nash and Brown both bouncing instructions out. Stevenson, 3! And that has just brought this crowd a light. We're back to 4 points here, just about halfway through the last quarter. Again, a winner is going through to the Southern Wolves, and that ball is going through the rim. And again, Mark Nash emphasising, you just can't leave her alone.
No, you just got to be right up and in on her. You just can't afford to give her any space, because any space she creates, she'll shoot it.
Tell you what, near a foul there by Crispin. She's lucky not to give that away. Big rebound there. Hobart breaking away there, just slowing down.
Good
Take it back
hands.
to the defence, and this is going to be an easy 2. Can't afford to be turning you back on the defence there, Ronnie, and they get punished for it. It's back to 5.
Yeah, no, good basket there for Kingston. Now they need to get a stop here defensively. Just smart defence, but that, as soon as I say that, it's a good seal by Bynum, and yeah, a bit of a curse there, Hamish, and that's poor by Kingston on that possession.
That's something.
Jinxed it.
Kingston.
Very much so. Yeah, he jinxed it. Is that what you said? I think Hamish said jinxed it. Yeah.
Hamish trying to come up with words that I do not know.
No, he said you jinxed it.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Commentator's curse.
We don't say jinx, we say commentator's curse, man.
How am I supposed to know that?
You do now.
You do now.
Curse.
Yeah, I'll put that in your contract.
Repeat after me. Commentator's curse.
Commentator's curse.
There you go.
You've heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
It's in he's learning the lexicon, Ronnie.
Yes, my word.
It's another word for vocabulary. He doesn't know that either. We'll get that too. By the way, Bynum's inside straight away. She wanted that with ease. She's gone side. Wanted the foul. Stratsman there with the defence. As Pia Rhodes is going to clear that one away. 77-70 is our scoreline. Inside 4 minutes here. Clock ticking away. Good fake.
Good.
And Kylie McCauley just throwing a couple of suggestions here to Crespin. As Thompson goes down the floor. And again, Hobart can't rush. That's a 3. That's ridiculous.
Oh.
She's never going to make that.
I was going to say, Shana Thompson doing her best impression of Steph Curry.
Yeah, she needs to just slow down a bit here. And there's one thing too. Hobart's mentality now is they're playing from behind Ronald, even though they're in front, because the momentum swing has gone to the Kings.
Absolutely, and you could feel it right now, JB. You know, it's like these.
Too easy.
It's beautiful. Oh,
$1 million move. 5
Ruby Aaron, you need to make that girl.
Crespin flowing away down there. No blood rules tonight. Thompson drawing contact. She'll go to the line for 2.
And it's such a great find on that. You just got to make that. Then all of a sudden you get back with him 2. Still 3:11 to go. I mean, there's heaps of time, but that's one that might just come back and bite you on the backside if you're not careful. So we'll see what happens here. As timeout has been called by Coach Crespin, and this will be a vital timeout for both teams, and will be interesting to see what happens next.
I do wonder, does Coach Crespin he's going to want a conversion of both too, really, but just with the momentum the girls have at the moment, do you think he potentially wants to make that first, get the second and hit a big shot, or are you thinking that he wants to execute these 2 and maybe change up his defensive strategy?
Well, I think he wants, maybe to me, I think he wants to look to execute. But, you know, Shana Thompson being a big-time big time player, and knowing what's going on in those situations, it wouldn't surprise me if Thompson does take matters into her own hands. But as you've said, Coach Cressman has a lot of belief in his players, and no doubt they'll do the right thing. But we're trying to get a bit of an ear into what each coach is saying. So Cressman really trying to emphasise a little bit more teamwork on his side of things. And Nash is looking for something around the elbow offensively. So looking for a couple elbow hits, which just basically means hit the guy at the elbow, and then you're looking for an open shot. It's near like a split action. What they'll look to run there, JB, and try to feed off that.
You know how you said look out for the guy? I think it's a woman.
I know, but it's just common to say guy. And,
Hamish has been bringing a lot of balance to the commentary the last few
he has
months,
too.
right?
Yeah, props to you.
He has been
man.
doing very well there. Yeah, wanting to split with the girls.
Yeah, no, yep.
Hit us straight up. That one there, Thompson.
He's doing well to get renewed on his contract.
He's playing. He's keeping everything politically correct. We can appreciate that up here in the commentary box that can at times be a little volatile. Thompson misses that one. Well, she got the second miss, but couldn't get the rebound.
Back to 5 now, JB.
And that one's going to be the reach. Yeah. Thompson didn't get called for it the first.
Just quickly. Are we doing the end of year show at your place, at Studio B?
Yeah.
Right, done.
Well, actually, don't know.
Had
Had to ask my mum that.
Oh, we got venue constraints now, JB.
There will be beer and there will be food and we will be there.
Meanwhile, back at the ball game.
Thank you, Ronnie. Thompson getting called for that reach. Nearly an offensive foul. That's a spin and a hook and a miss. Stratsman with the rebound. She's passed her that one. One to the travel. Doesn't matter. Pair roads for three. No good.
Ooh,
one to the rebound. Vanderkamp battling for that. Stevenson coming across. Vanderkamp taking the other way. Bynum with the ball gives to Thompson. Thompson coming down the floor now. It's going to be very interesting to see how she executes.
Yeah, now you got to get a stop here. If you're Kingston, must get a stop.
Well, she's been allowed to waltz through the lane with ease.
Too easy.
And that is a regret of Mark Nash there. They're able to get the rebound, but get the score as well. We're inside of 150 seconds.
And you got to push it here now. Nash has kind of gave the wine up there. You got to really push it now. Points do matter in this situation.
Do or die basketball. So we're going to see what happens here. P. Rhodes, corner three, gets around Thompson, dribbles inside, wanted contact, straight up there from Bynum. And that's one thing I can say. The twin towers there at Bynum and Vanderkamp have really guarded that baseline heavily in the last one.
Yeah, they've done well. And then here, another mental lapse.
Oh, too easy.
Yep.
She's over.
Okay, you might have done the commentary curse just then, because remember how Ruby missed her open layup? He could have just done it then.
We'll soon find out, Hamish, as Stevenson now with the ball works her way through on that on-ball screen, goes through Thompson and got fouled. She goes to the line for two.
Just quickly there, Hamish, we do not deal with conspiracy theories up here.
Correct.
We call it as we see it.
We're not Kenny Smith.
Right. Good. I tell you what, he's not Kenny Smith, but he is the Australian GOAT, and that's Andrew Gaze. Jumping on JB's Instagram yesterday, right? I was very
I was wondering when you were going to get into the broadcast.
Very, very impressed with that. I'll mention that in both games. But, the old Kmart kicks running around, really getting a bit more prominence, Ronnie. And I'm not going to lie. If I'm going to have a casual run round over the next few months, I'll be whipping out a $30 pair of those. They're, tell you what, they bring back the memories of the Andrew Gazes, which I'm sure you had a pair of at some point.
No, unfortunately, I never got one.
What?
That is being dead set honest with you, JB.
Of all people I know, one of the biggest fans. Good split there by Thompson.
Yes.
She'll have her own shoe on if she's lucky
pass.
enough. And good finish. Time out there, Mark Nash.
Yeah.
And he's going to take that one. And I tell you what, you can't let her split the defence like that. Double-digit lead. We thought it was going to be too much to overcome early. They did, and they're not going to get. Don't think they'll get over it now. Just over 100 seconds to go, but quickly.
Yes, go on.
Why did you not have a pair of Andrew Gazes? Of all blokes in the world.
Yeah, good question. I think it was around the time when I had moved to Hobart, so there was certainly
between 04, 5, 6.
Yeah, so when I was, that was when Gaze was putting out those shoes in his last couple of years,
winding down and making some money.
I think either Mum wasn't keen on him for some reason, or I didn't really invest in it at the time. I was more invested in his jersey, which I got signed at home.
Yes, you do.
I
tell you what, you'd be kicking yourself now not to have a pair of Andrew Gazes, wouldn't you?
No, they'd be worth a bit too now, JB.
Well, rumour has it he's got a stockpile at his house.
We need to get in touch with the great one then, I reckon.
Yeah, David McFarlane, who we...
shout out to Macca.
Yeah, shout out to Macca, who we talked to from the Illawarra Hawks during the NBL Blitz. himself said he went over on the touring group to design those shoes. I think they were a Chinese made over in China.
Yes.
Probably explains why there wasn't a great sell of them. But yeah, he said that was one of the more interesting basketball experiences he had, was touring around with the design crew and those in charge with financing that venture for Andrews. So
there you go.
I must say I had a black pair similar to the fillers I'm wearing at the moment, with a big silver stripe down the side of them. Them and one became very prominent around the same time, Ronnie.
Very true, Joey.
Tay Stevenson now with the ball. We're inside the 100 seconds. That's a long shot.
It's good. Now they've got to get up. Now you've got to press here. Try to trap in the back court, get a quick stop.
That trap didn't come. Surprise, Rose Michael didn't try and meet the pass on that one there, but Stevenson just a little too dangerous to worry about that. Tell them to keep their hands out. They push over for the double. Crespin getting inside. She wanted the shot, doesn't take it. Gives to Wilton. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Pass inside. Vanderkamp wanted it. Gets it back. Needs to get up. Does. Fouled. And scored. With 1 second left on the shot clock. This will send it back into double digits. They're up 105. And that was good work there. And very lucky there, Hobart, that the Kings didn't run away with that ball.
Yeah, very true. They see the miss. Now you got to push. Now you got to really push here and get a quick basket.
Hobart just doing enough there to stagnate the Kings' offense. We're inside a minute here. Abby Brown gets the up and under. She's missed that one. Kings need the ball. They get it.
I'm just wondering, are you sure it's double digits? Because it's 77 to 86.
Okay, it's 9 points. Thank you, Hamish. And that one's going to be a foul on the floor.
It's only Hobart's third team, so...
That's all right then.
So, got a couple to give. Now, if I'm Kingston here, you're looking for Stevenson on for a quick three here. If not, Rose Michael.
Yeah, Stevenson or Michael here. I'm actually surprised they didn't just run a give and go.
Oh, shoot it.
That was long.
Bank. Oh.
She gets it back. Needs to get it back out again, though. They're too hesitant here, the Kings. And they've let almost a full half-minute tick away on their offense. They need to pass out the ball. And they don't, and they're out. Hobart away here. They need to play the layup. And that's unable to get the finish there. Crespin's going to regather that ball. Needs to pass out. Bynan, shot, no good. Crespin's adjusting, and Thompson's just going to try and hold this clock out a bit. That one's going to be a foul by Stevenson, so that'll send Thompson to the line. All over Red Rover, Ronnie.
Yeah, but hey, what a game it's been though. It's had its moments, this game, where Kingston had a bit of a lead. Hobart had to fight their way back. This wasn't a walk in the park for Hobart this time round. Kingston really made a game, and Hobart had to earn this one. So credit due to full credit to Kingston for really making bouncing back last week. I mean, they win by 20? I think it was 20 something last week. Around that mark. So to keep this within, at the moment we're in single digits, so we're now out to 10. It's not a bad effort from the Kings.
We're live here, ending this quarter, and Eliza Crespin's just hobbling down the court. That one's going to go out of bounds. Substitution's going to send Aitchison in. And Vanderkamp grabbing at that calf. She's wincing severely there.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, that's not good at all. She's just broken down to tears.
Yep.
So we're assuming that's a calf. She's not happy there. Hamish, you might be able to give us a bit more insight there just as the clock's about to tick out. Rose Michael taking that away. One of the back court. It's not going to make a damn difference. We're away here. They're not really going to shoot it. She is. On the buzzer, that's no good. Final siren, Ronnie, 77-87. I think a unanimous Shana Thompson player of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Shana, again, proved vital in the third quarter where she, brought Hobart back into the game. So, she did a good job. And, hey, credit to both teams. That was probably one of the more closer games we've had throughout the season. And once again, finals has brought that within both teams.
We have lifted the standard here, and we're about to head into our second game. Final score, 87-77 in favour of Hobart. They'll head through to the grand final to play Southern Wolves next week. Our player of the game is Shana Thompson. She really took over that game when it mattered. We'll take a quick break, and we will be back for game 2. It's the Southern Wolves taking on the Kingbrook Kings.